Good morning, Panthers, and congratulations on making it through quarter three. We are just one quarter away until the end of the year. Time is flying. And what a year it has been. You guys are troopers. You have been through a lot already. And quarter four is going to be very unique. You had a big decision to make, and we are excited no matter what decision you made. So here we go. We have a lot to go over to make sure that quarter four is exceptional no matter what. So quarter four, you could be learning either from home, remotely, or in person. And so we need to take a look at what that is going to look like. So here we go. We're going to look at an overview. We have material pickup starting today and tomorrow. Concurrent learning, so we will be learning both in class and at home at the same time, and then some safety protocols. Always make sure your mask is on correctly over that nose and mouth. So we have many different options this year: remote, shift A, shift B. What does Wednesday look like? Let's find out. So our schedule is going to be pretty unique. So if you are hybrid, you are most likely either going to be on shift A or shift B. So shift A means you're going to be in person on Monday and Tuesday, and then remote the rest of the week. If you are shift B, that means you are going to be in person on Thursday and Friday, but you will be remote the beginning of the week. And if you chose remote, you will be doing the same thing. You will be remote all week long. But look at that Wednesday. Wednesday, everybody is remote because that is our deep clean day. So everybody will be remote at some point throughout the week. So we need to figure out, how does that work, and how do we make sure everybody is successful and supported no matter where they are learning from. So our schedule is also going to be a little different as well. So our Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is going to be our regular bell schedule. So 1 through 8. And now our Wednesday schedule, that deep cleaning day, that is going to be our division or our short release day. Just to make sure that our Monday, Tuesday, and our Thursday, Friday are going to be equal. Now, when you're coming into the building, the doors open at 6:45, giving you enough time to get through that screening process and up to class on time. Now, Wednesdays, that deep cleaning day, everybody is remote. We still will have those conference days that will happen every other Wednesday, so that you will be able to be supported by your teachers. And we'll also use those days for all sorts of different things. We might have regular class, we might do assemblies. It is a great time for you to get tutoring, that one-on-one time with your teacher, for you to advocate for yourself. We might have guest speakers, all sorts of different things. So it's going to be a great opportunity, fourth quarter, for us to explore different types of things. If you are coming into the building, it is important to know what to bring. Now, one thing to note is there will not be lockers this quarter. That is for a safety reason. We want to make sure you are very, very safe, and that there is no reason to be hanging out or forgetting about that social distancing. So things that you need is definitely a backpack, because you are responsible for your materials, nobody else. So you need to make sure you know where your stuff is at all times. So you need a backpack to keep on to all of your things. You also need to make sure that you are bringing your CPS Chromebook every single day. You cannot bring your own personal device. You need to bring the CPS Chromebook, which we will assign you if you don't have. You also need to bring headphones with a mic in order to participate and work with your remote friends that are participating in the class. So make sure you're bringing those every day. Also, make sure that Chromebook is fully charged every morning. So when you go to sleep at night, make sure you charge that Chromebook so when you get up in the morning, it's ready to go. You need to make sure you bring your student ID. Today or tomorrow when you come pick up your stuff, you're going to get a brand new student ID. It is very important that you bring that every day because you need to swipe in. This is very, very important for CDC procedures in order to swipe in and contact tracing. You also need to have that face mask. It needs to be on every day, all day long, to make sure that you and your peers are safe. And then also, some minimal school supplies. You don't need to bring a ton. Everything, again, we're going to try to have minimal things that it's going to be passed out because we don't want to be passing things between our peers and our teachers. So you might want to bring a calculator for math, maybe 1 or 2 notebooks in case you want to take notes for yourself. So a few pens and pencils, maybe a few folders for yourself, but you do not need a ton of actual materials. And then you do want to check in with your teachers and see if you need to bring your textbooks in for that day, so that you're not bringing all of your text every single day because you may not need it that day. So please check in with your teachers to see what text you need to bring that day. Now, these are ways that you should not wear your mask. Not only do you look silly, but they are not effective. We're not just trying to protect your nose or your chin. We are trying to protect your entire body. Material pickup, guys. Starting today. Let's get it done. Lots of questions already have been coming through the inbox. All right, so if you have chosen hybrid, so coming in a few days a week, you do need to come to material pickup. So today, our 9th and 10th graders, you are coming up to the school for material pickup. Tomorrow, our 11th and 12th graders. So if you are a hybrid student, you do need to come because, again, you're getting that important student ID as well as some PPE materials. If you are a remote-only student, only some of you need to come. You need to check this list. If you have Mr. Huang, if you are a freshman, you do need to come because you need to get Othello for English. If you took driver's ed, you need to come get your permit. If you have Mr. Trinter or Miss Warsek for English 3, there is a novel for you. Or if you have Mr. Mendez, there are some students that need to get some material for him. Other than that, you do not need to come up. So if you are a remote student and you do not have any of these classes, you do not need to come to material pickup. Let me say that again. If you are remote only and you do not have any of these classes that are listed on the screen, you do not need to come up for material pickup. I hope that was clear. Now, I know that it's only 2 days for material pickup. Please try your best to make it during your time slot. If for some reason you absolutely cannot, find a friend, tell them your full name, your schedule, and your student ID number, and have them get your stuff for you. If you can't even do that, last resort, email Miss Hallberg and see what she can do to hook you up. Oh, one last thing, that note at the bottom, if you have Stahara and you built an awesome bridge, you do need to drop that off as well. That is a grade. Make sure you get them points. All right, guys, this was in the newsletter. This was in an email. Please make sure you check this out and that you come at the correct time. It's by your last name. It is by your grade level. Check your last name, figure out what the alphabet is, and come at the correct time. We look forward to seeing you soon. All right, when you get here for material pickup, you're going to come into door B. That is the main entrance in the front. You'll make sure you have that CPS screener done, get your temp checked, head into the auditorium, and you're going to follow the aisles, grab your bag if you are a hybrid student. You'll grab your materials off the stage depending on your classes, and then you will head back up through the aisles and out the auditorium door. There will be people there to guide you. Make sure you know who your teachers are, and you will be golden. All right, so let's figure out what this is going to look like for us while we're in the classroom. Number 1. No matter if you are at home or you are hybrid, your attendance is key. So you need to be in class and on time. That is key. Number 2, you need to communicate. It is very important that you're constantly advocating for yourself and communicating with your teachers. Not only is it important to be in attendance, but every once in a while we understand that you might miss. Now, if you do, it needs to be a valid excuse. It is very important to tell your teachers this, but you also need to make sure you are submitting your attendance form so that you are getting an excused absence. This form needs to be submitted by your parents, not just telling your teachers, but actually submitting the form so that you get that excused absence. This needs to be done through the VON website, so please make sure that is taken care of. And then finally, if you are an in-person student, so you're hybrid and you decide that you are sick and you are not able to make it, that is the only reason you do not go to your in-person day. So this is not a daily choice. It's not like I wake up on Monday morning and I'm like, I'm feeling a little tired today. I'm just going to do remote. That's not a thing. If you are an in-person student and it's your day to be in person, you need to be in person. It's not a I don't feel like it today choice. It's if I'm in person, I go in person. There are days that you are sick and then you need to stay home, but that is the only time you stay home. So it's very important that if you chose in person, you honor that choice and you go to school, because those seats are very limited and we have people that are on a wait list to actually go and take that seat. So make sure you're honoring that choice to actually go to school on the days that are assigned to you. So again, our expectation for both remote and in-person attendance is mandatory. For remote, you need to sign into your Google Meets every day. For in-person, you need to make sure you actually go. For remote, participation is key, and that even more so, it's going to be very helpful for you to actually have your cameras on. Because teachers are going to be up and moving around the classroom, having your camera on is really going to help them know that you're participating and that you're present. Also, using the chat function is not going to be as helpful for teachers because they're not going to be able to see your comments. So rather, unmuting and participating that way is going to be much more useful. For in-person, it's very important that you're able to participate and include with your remote peers in the classroom by making sure that you have your charged Chromebook and headphones every day so that you and your peers at home are able to work together simultaneously. Also, and this is an expectation for both, that participation and engagement is super important for the success of this situation. So everybody needs to make sure that they're both participating in order for this classroom environment to be successful. And then no matter what, all assignments are still going to be turned in through Google Classroom. So that is not going to change whether you're an in-person student or you are a remote student. Now, when you get to the classroom or when you log into your classroom, you're going to notice something kind of like what you see on the screen here. Each classroom has their LCD projector, if you remember in the past, but there's also going to be a wide angle webcam. And so when you're at home, you're going to be able to still see the entire front of the classroom as well as the teacher. So it's going to kind of feel like you are kind of sitting in the classroom, which is great. The teacher is also going to have a dual monitor with a speaker so that when the students at home speak and participate, that the teacher is going to be able to hear, so they're going to be able to participate in the lesson fully. And both the teacher and the students in the class will have headsets so that they'll be able to hear and speak, and then the kids at home will be able to hear each other. So everyone will be kind of communicating and talking to each other as if they're all in one class together. And then again, the kids in the class and the kids at home will all have devices so that if they're doing breakout groups and things like that, everyone can work together and there is no isolation. We still have our pride expectations. A little bit different, we're going to say, than we are used to. So our P today is going to stand for participate. This is super important. We expect both remote and in-person to participate. But because we have our remote and our in-person, both are expected to speak loud and clear. We need to unmute and we need to speak clearly and enunciate so everyone can hear each other. We need to respect each other. We need to respect our voices. We need to respect each other's learning preferences, whether we decide to stay home or go into the classroom. And we need to respect each other's health and safety and follow these safety protocols so everyone can have a safe learning environment. Inclusion. We need to include everyone. We need to make sure that we're able to partner with someone at home, partner with someone in class, no matter what. We need to include everyone in the lesson, the discussion, the group work, so everyone is a part of the class. D, determined. We need to continue to advocate for ourselves and our classmates. We need to learn from our mistakes and never give up. We know that this is new and it's going to be challenging, but together we're going to be okay. E, electronics. We know that this is going to be new and electronics are definitely needed, but we only need one device, everyone, our Chromebooks. So whether we are remote or in person, we need to stay focused and avoid those distractions. So you only need that CPS Chromebook and use it appropriately. So make sure it is charged for class, but we do not need our cell phones. They are not allowed in class. Out of sight, out of mind. It is a red light zone. All right, every morning it is super important that you must complete the CPS screener. If you have insomnia, you cannot do it until after 4:30 a.m., but you must do it before you arrive to CPS. But you must do it before you arrive to Von Steuben. This is super important. Your peers will get very annoyed with you if you show up to school and you have not completed your health screener because you will slow down the line. They will get very cranky with you. So make sure you have completed your health screener every day before you arrive. All right, y'all, let's get serious now. Safety protocols, extremely important. We gotta make sure that we are being safe because our health and our safety is number one. So like I said, that health screener, super important. Now, we've already had some kiddos back in the building, especially our athletes, and the number one mistake I have seen is that we are signing in as a visitor. Y'all are not visitors, you are students. You belong at Von Steuben, so we need to sign in as a student. Now, it seems a little silly because when you sign in, you think, I'm signing in as myself. So you click myself. You are not signing in as myself. So you want to click begin and then click the button a student or a visiting adult. Even though it seems silly not to click myself, do not click myself. Then when you get to step 3, you'll see the button CPS student, and it will allow you to put eventually your CPS ID number, and then it'll log you in correctly. Every single day that you come to the building, it is important that you fill out the health screener. You need to do this after 4:30 a.m. before you arrive to the building. You can go to cps.edu/health screener, or there's a QR code on your student ID. It is very important that when you fill out the health screener, you're filling it out as a student. It might seem confusing, but you want to click as student and not the button that says myself, and then follow the prompts. Once you get through all of the questions, you should end with a green screen. That means you are good to go and you can come to school. If at the end of answering the questions you get a red screen, that means you must stay home and follow the directions that are provided. All right, when you get to school, you are all assigned a very specific door. This is to keep everybody safe. Your ID will also tell you which door to go into as well. Seniors, you are door B, also blue. So you are going into the main door, door B. Juniors, you are door D, the red door. Also, people think of the athletic door. Sophomores, you are our green door. You are going through our courtyard, our side courtyard door. Freshmen, you are our yellow door. You are going through our center courtyard door. So please make sure you are going through your correct door. This is making sure that we do not have a crowd and everyone can go through without a huge line and people can stay safe and distant. So, here are the steps. Number 1, we complete that health screener. Number 2, we get to our assigned door. Once you get to that door, you will be very nicely greeted by security, but you gotta make sure you have your mask on or you will not be let in, where they will take your temperature and check you in and make sure you have gotten that green screen. You will then need to swipe your student ID. Extremely important. You need to swipe your student ID or you cannot come in. You will then finally proceed through the x-ray machine / metal detector like our normal screening process and head on to class. At the end of the day, you'll exit out the nearest exit by your 8th period. So they will help you exit through the nearest exit. So your 8th period teacher will escort you out through the nearest exit. Every morning when you come to school, it is important that you have already completed your CPS health screener. Then you must go to your assigned door. When you arrive, you will first be greeted and get your temperature checked, show your green screen, and get checked off. You then need to scan your school ID, go through the metal detector and x-ray machine like normal. And remember, make sure you have a backpack because there is no locker, and off to school you go. Here are some very important safety rules. Number 1, that mask. It needs to be on at all times. No excuses. And it needs to be over your nose and your mouth. Number 2, the drinking fountains, they are off limits unless they are the ones that you can refill your water bottle up. So if you bring your own refillable water bottle, that is okay. It needs to come into the building already empty. You cannot come with it pre-filled, so bring an empty water bottle and then you can fill it up once you get into the building. Number 3, restrooms are going to be closed during passing period. Let me say that again. Restrooms are going to be closed during the passing periods. This is only to make sure that they are cleaned during that time and also to keep the numbers down. That way we are able to control how many people are going in and out of the bathrooms and also to make sure that they are staying cleaned. So then once you get to class, if you do need to use the facilities, you just need to ask your teacher for a pass and they will be able to let one person go at a time in order to control the flow and keep people safe and distant. Number 4, we all need to make sure we are remaining socially distant and keeping those 6 feet from each other. Number 5, keep your hands to yourself. That means we can't high five, we can't shake, we can't hug, fist bump, things like that. Just need to make sure we are being safe. And number 6, no eating or drinking unless you are in your designated area. So of course at lunch, when you are 6 feet apart from each other, you are able to take that mask down while eating and drinking. But if you are not eating and drinking, please make sure that mask is back on. Health and safety is our number 1 priority, and it is all of our responsibilities. It is important that we all maintain social distancing of 6 feet, that everyone wears their masks at all times, and we maintain good hygiene. When wearing our mask, it is important that we wear it properly. To wear your mask, you need to make sure it covers both your nose and your mouth at all times. It is important that you wear your mask at all times unless you are in lunch and eating or drinking. It is also important that you are social distancing. Social distancing means that you are maintaining that 6 feet distance between you and another person. It also means that you are keeping your hands to yourself. I know that sometimes it can be exciting to see your friends for the first time after a long time, but no hugging, high-fiving, handshaking, things like that. The classrooms will already be set up in social distancing setup. Please make sure you do not move the desks and only sit in the desks that you are allowed so that you maintain that distance. There will also be signs to help remind you of that social distancing, making sure that you keep your mask on. In addition, water fountains will be off limits unless it is a station of refillable water bottles. This is also to help make sure that you are safe at all times. So if you are someone that likes to drink water throughout the day, please remember to bring your own refillable water bottle. If you are sick, please stay home. It is important that you are maintaining the safety for yourself and for others. So if you are sick, please stay home and then fill out the absence form just like you would any other day. If you come to school and then start feeling ill, please inform someone immediately and we can escort you to the care room and call your guardian to come pick you up. It is very important that we make sure that everybody is safe, including you. Thank you so much. It is important that we all stay safe during these uncertain times. Take care. All right, everybody, and remember, at lunchtime, we need to make sure we are still socially distant, so there will be 2 spaces for lunch. On your ID, you will be able to see where your lunch space is. If it says CAF, that means cafeteria, so 9th and 10th graders, you will be eating lunch in the cafeteria. If it says AU, that stands for auditorium, 11th and 12th graders, you'll be eating lunch in the auditorium. For safety reasons, it will be a bagged lunch, and so you'll be grabbing your lunch and heading to your safe space for eating. There'll only be 2 people per table, and you'll be sitting in the auditorium a few seats apart in order to be able to take your mask off safely and eat. When the weather is permitting, you also will be able to go outside and eat in the courtyard. And of course, we can't get away with this lovely presentation without a few rules. We've already talked about it. Timeliness is key. My coach always said, on time is late, early is on time, late don't even bother. Well, of course, we do bother. We want you here, but please, please, please be on time. There are also no lockers this year. I think we've said that already, but we want to reiterate, no lockers this year. We really want to make sure everybody is safe. But it's very important for you to know that you are responsible for your belongings, nobody else. So you need to keep an eye on all of your things. So have a bag, keep your stuff in there, and make sure you are responsible for your things, nobody else. We already talked about it, no bathroom during passing periods. That is just to make sure that we are following CDC rules. And this is going to be the big one, no cell phones, guys. Every classroom is a red zone. You will have your Chromebook, so there is no need. You can look everything up you need on your Chromebook, so your phone does not need to be out. So it needs to be in your bag, and it needs to be silenced. Out of sight, out of mind. This is just to make sure that we don't have any distractions and that your main focus while you're in the building is your education. All right. We are so excited for 4th quarter. We know there are a lot of changes, but we also are excited to have people both in the building and support you remotely. It is going to be an exciting 4th quarter. We know you all will be successful. Please make sure you reach out so that we can help in any way possible. We are going to stop here and allow you to ask your division teacher or link crew members, if they're in your division, any questions you might have. If they don't have the answers, they are going to gather your questions and bring them back to admin so that we can answer them for you. So don't forget, make sure you read the newsletter every Sunday night, because it is the most up-to-date information. And see you on Monday. Actually, 9th and 10th graders will see you today. 11th and 12th graders will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.